Hey guys, it's number 11. The diagram shows how the rate of photosynthesis varies with light intensity. The four curves show different conditions of temperature and carbon dioxide concentration. What limits the rate of photosynthesis at point P? Here's the question here. What is wrong with the arrow? Okay, so it's actually talking about the limiting factor here. So you have to know the limiting factors of photosynthesis, and there are three limiting factors for the photosynthesis that you guys should know. First one is in light intensity, as written here. Second one is temperature. Third one is CO2 concentration. So in this graph, you can see that as the light intensity gets increased, the rate of photosynthesis also increases. But when you see the bottom one, the lowest line here, you can see at point P, the rate of photosynthesis is no longer increasing, although the light intensity is keep on increasing. Okay? And if the temperature gets increased, you can see the rate of photosynthesis increases a bit more than the bottom one, but however, in similar place, a similar level, the same level, actually not similar but same, the rate of photosynthesis is no longer increasing as well. And if the concentration is increased from 0.1 to 0.2, you can see that the rate of photosynthesis is increasing. And if both temperature and the concentration gets increased, the rate of photosynthesis also increases in the same level. Okay? So at P, light intensity is, or the increase or decrease in light intensity is doing nothing. So the light intensity is not the limiting factor at P, because the limiting factor is basically, you guys actually have to know the definition of the limiting factor. So it's a factor that limits the reaction rate in any life process. Okay? So it's the factor that limits the reaction rate. So this definition is, in my opinion, is quite ambiguous and quite confusing. So I actually like to explain in different terms. So limiting factors are something, or they're factors that does have an effect on the life process. So at P, you can see that the light intensity will increase or decrease. The light intensity is doing nothing on the rate of photosynthesis. It's not affecting much. It's actually not affecting at all. But the others, like the temperature and the concentration of the CO2, does have an effect. So if you change the temperature to 30 degrees Celsius, you can see the rate of photosynthesis gets increased. You can also see that by increasing the concentration of carbon dioxide, the rate of photosynthesis gets increased. If you change both temperature and the concentration, like increasing them, you can see that the rate of photosynthesis also increases again. So the limiting factor at P is not the light intensity, but both carbon dioxide concentration and the temperature, because they both affect the rate of photosynthesis by increasing or maybe even decreasing as well. Okay? So the answer for this one is C. For this video, I actually spent quite a lot on explaining the limiting factor because it has always been quite ambiguous and quite confusing for many of my students. So it probably be the same for you guys. So yeah, but just spend quite a bit of time on explaining this. So if you don't understand it, or if you're still confused a little bit, just tell me. Like, leave a comment, and I'll try to find another way to explain it in better way. Okay, sweet.